Vince McMahon attempts to buy a promotion. Plus, there was a title change at AEW Grand Slam Mexico, and a reigning WWE champion is to undergo surgery. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. We did wonder when Vince McMahon would attempt to get back into the promotional racket. Turns out he's already tried to.
Yeah, a recent attempt to return to the combat sports arena has been revealed. Founder and president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, or BKFC, if you prefer, David Feldman, revealing that McMahon made an attempt to purchase the company with controlling interest. It operates out of Philadelphia, became the first promotion to offer state-sanctioned and commissioned bare knuckle boxing events since 1889, debuting in 2018. It's co-owned by former UFC champion as well, Conor McGregor. And yeah, Vince McMahon trying to get involved there, trying to buy the controlling interest.
Now, Eric Bischoff had mentioned something like this a few months ago, suggesting that Vince had been in some sort of quiet conversations with somebody that he was also business partnered with, and it was confirmed by Corey Feldman himself, who was on the Undisputed podcast. He is the founder and and a major part of BKFC. He said the deal did not go through. He said he's a great guy. His whole team is great, but the timing wasn't right for us. The sticking point may have been that Vince McMahon wanted creative control upon investing in the company. Feldman added, "He's Vince McMahon. If I were him, I'd want creative control too. He was awesome, very complimentary, and he was very serious to do business."
And if he had acquired the majority share, he could have done that very easily. Like, he could have appointed whoever he wanted in creative, including himself. Of course, it's not a massive surprise to me. And whatever your feelings on bare knuckle fighting I feel like Vince maybe sees this as something with untapped potential. You look back at UFC, a company that, Shane McMahon advised Vince McMahon to invest in or buy many, many years ago. Something that grew and grew and grew and eclipsed the popularity of professional wrestling. Vince revolutionized professional wrestling. UFC added a fair bit of glitz, glamour, I guess, star power to it, and perhaps Vince sees potential in bare knuckle fighting, bare knuckle boxing, being something that he can Vince McMahon up, tar up a little bit, and BKFC mania. It writes itself. No, genuinely, I think there's perhaps a gap in the market, or at least Vince sees a gap in the market with this thing.
Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated says that people he has spoken to do believe actually that Vince McMahon will find his way back to wrestling, saying, speaking with several executives in combat sports and pro wrestling, the belief is that McMahon will ultimately find himself again in professional wrestling, an industry that he revolutionized over the last 40 years. Speaking with wrestlers off the record, there's a great deal of support for McMahon. As many note, McMahon is still held in high regard. But every major wrestler is under contract, so who would he build his wrestling shows around? Would it be weekly programming? Would it be large-scale events? Once you start looking at the details, it feels like an insurmountable task, especially with WWE dominating the landscape. It would have been easier for McMahon to buy an existing property like TNA, yet very few of those are available. So if you have this situation where the game is already very much in control with a few big companies, with WWE in there and with AEW in there as well, maybe it is a case of going to something wrestling adjacent. We saw Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan do that with Real American Freestyle recently. And this, again, Vince McMahon looking to go wrestling adjacent.
Yeah, it must be something that's very difficult to, leave behind. This has been Vince's life forever, hasn't it? Professional wrestling is in Vince's blood. And so to not do it anymore, I imagine it's driving him absolutely bonkers. Obviously, it depends where the civil suit ends up as well, as far as public perception of Vince McMahon is moving forward, and if people would support a company. It sounds like he's got the backing of some of the wrestlers. I hadn't really given this much thought before, but do you think WWE getting into bed with TNA or acquiring promotions such as AAA, is that to keep them away from Vince McMahon? Is that a bonus of those acquisitions and relationships?
I think it's a byproduct of it. I don't think it would be the reason to do it.
No.
Who knows what really goes on behind some of these closed doors, but I would have said it's more a case of WWE wanting to establish wrestling dominance in a way that they probably couldn't have done under Vince McMahon's watch.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we would have seen these kind of acquisitions under Vince McMahon. I don't think they're done to keep him out. I think it's more just done because it's something that WWE want to do now.
Imagine a world in which Vince McMahon is competing with WWE, his son-in-law. It's bonkers to think about, but it genuinely could happen. Wrestling's weird, isn't it?
It is a weird old time. It's a grand old time if you're Mercedes Money. You keep winning titles. She won another one last night at Grand Slam Mexico.
She certainly did. She is your new CMLL Women's Champion.
Oh, great result for her. Now, the finish to her match with Zeuxis was really interesting because they're on the top rope, and it's like Zeuxis is going for this sort of power slam off the rope, but Monet sort of twists it in midair.
It was very impressive.
Really clever finish to that one. And as a result, Monet adds another title to her resume. Afterwards, we had another confrontation with her and her opponent, all in Texas, in Toni Storm. Toni nearly giving her old Storm Zero on the ramp, but we didn't get that.
We didn't. This means that Mercedes Moné is now your CMML Women's Champion. She is your Rev Pro Undisputed Women's Champion alongside the Queen of Southside. She is the EWA Women's Champion, the AEW TBS Champion. The only title that she has dropped since her AEW debut is the New Japan Strong Women's title. She has got a lot of belts right now. I'm always kind of trying to figure out what the end game is here. She's wanted to do the belt collector gimmick, and she's been very, very successful in doing so. She's pissed a lot of people off in the process also. But I wonder where this goes. I wonder what the first belt that, what's the next big belt that she loses and who's it to, and then you would imagine that she starts dropping them.
I feel like there's potentially a situation where you kind of have this meteoric fall of Mercedes Moné when the time is right, and you have her lose all the belts in quick succession.
Yeah, starting with the TBS.
Yeah, the TBS. I wonder whether she takes the AEW World title before that.
Don't know.
I'm loving the work of Toni Storm, but I feel like they're just heavy. I feel like they're setting up Mercedes for this magnificent fall. And I think it'll just be every belt will just fall off her, and then it'll just be like, and then the stories of Mercedes Moné bankrupt essentially because she's lost all her belts.
Yeah, that's good.
There's something in that. There is certainly something in that. Some confusion, but excitement for those who were at least left in the venue at the end of the AEW Grand Slam taping, because after Grand Slam we had the taping for Ring of Honor versus CMLL Global Wars. No spoilers on sort of who wins what on that one, but it was headlined by Blue Panther and Lee Moriarty one-on-one, and after that match Shane Taylor Promotions beat up Blue Panther until Bryan Danielson makes an appearance. Here he is.
I love his little face. I've seen all these pictures going up of Danielson and Chris Hero in the crowd having a ball, just loving professional wrestling. They're just fans. They just love it. And it was so nice to see. And then to see Danielson stepping into the ring once again, making the save for Blue Panther, who's obviously got history with. It was beautiful. He hits the knee on Shane Taylor. Babyface is celebrating, sending the fans home more than happy. You'd be buzzing.
Yeah.
Imagine you get all that stuff. You sit through Ring of Honor CMLL, and then your main thing has Bryan Danielson. I miss him so much, Tom.
Yeah.
I hope he's happy. He's bloody seemed happy, judging by the pictures that I saw. I hope he's healthy, and I hope this is an indication that he's not done. I never thought he was, and he's come out over the past year or so and been like, well, yeah, I'm happy training, I'm happy doing all this stuff. No, you're not. No, if you're watching this now, Brian, get back in there. We miss you so much.
Get back in there.
As long as you're all right.
As Bryan Danielson teases a fork in the road, there is a road to recovery for one Liv Morgan that begins today. She suffered a dislocated shoulder on Raw in a match with Kairi Sane. It wasn't clear how bad the injury was. That is until a report from PW Insider.
Yeah, they've reported that it is a dislocated shoulder that requires surgery, unfortunately. Really, really bad news, in fact. It's understood that the injury has led to plans for WWE's Evolution Premium Live event massively being changed. Lots of things as a result of Liv Morgan being out, being shuffled around. The script has been torn up. It was originally believed, it certainly looked like she was going to be teaming up with Raquel to take on the Bellas. That obviously won't be happening now. And this is so disappointing to hear, because it really was just a freak injury. Just the landing didn't go quite right. She rolls out of the ring, and yeah, it's worse than we expected.
Kairi Sane got a lot of flack online for sort of the way that she acted during it, which I'm baffled by.
I didn't see that. Go on.
It was more the fact that because she was sort of dancing around in the ring while Liv Morgan was outside the ring, it was obviously she was drawing the cameras away from Liv Morgan while she could be seen to. But people get a bit weird online.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
you stay in character. You've got to continue playing around. That's really sensible as well, to give the production people something to shoot so that they don't have to cut to Liv. Yeah, okay, I didn't see that.
A lot of Stan accounts that terrify me on there. Kairi Sane commented on Liv suffering the injury and said, one of the most painful things for me is when a match is decided not by wrestling but because of an injury. I always step into the ring with deep respect for my opponent, and I train hard every day to give the audience something they can truly enjoy. Even if it was never intentional, knowing that someone was hurt in a match with me is something I carry deeply. It breaks my heart. I hope with all my heart for a full and speedy recovery. I will continue to give my all, hoping to bring excitement, not pain, to the ring.
Bless her,
I know.
She's such a sweetheart. That's the nicest thing to say. It wasn't her fault at all.
No, it was. If you watch the move that actually does it, it's the most basic of moves that they would have done 100 times. They'll do 100 times more. It wasn't anything reckless. That's the bit that's so heartbreaking about it. Is it wasn't like some wild spot. Liv Morgan has done some wild and woolly spots and come out the other way. But it's things like that that tend to cause these injuries, and that's the toughest part of all.
Yeah, I didn't mean to sound so patronising though.
But she's clearly upset.
Really sweet. It's really sweet.
It's a wonderful sentiment, and of course, we send all our best wishes to Liv Morgan for a full and speedy recovery. Look at her red old face. Look at her little face. Oh, look at her little face. Oh, Kairi Sane, eh? Do you know that there were wrestlers currently on the roster that used to have different names for a bit, and then they got rid of them?
Yeah, they did. We did a list about it. It's on the channel now. I can't remember the title of it. 10 cancelled WWE ring names is on the channel for your enjoyment right now.
And for the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.